What's going on, man? It's another YNBAB unscripted, but I guess it's not really unscripted, is it? It's a little different. Y'all gonna be hearing the chair. It is what it is, man. I'm here to talk about the in-season tournament a little bit. Get in and out, just give y'all my thoughts, man. The in-season tournament, man, it's gotta get fixed, man. Like, just the cash compensation, I don't think it's enough. And, if anybody's got any thoughts, any comments, man, feel free to leave it down below, man. I might reply to some comments in a future video. Just trying to grow the channel, man. See if any of y'all like this. I'm going to try to push out more videos like these. And if y'all don't like them, shit, I'm going to like them a couple years down the road. Hopefully some of these plans get implemented because I think these are some decent ideas. But let's get into it, man. It's already been 40-something seconds. So, I think in the NBA in-season tournament, man, you don't get enough rewards. Like, you get a little bit of cash compensation. But cash compensation, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's enough. Like, the players get some money. The staff gets some money. NBA players, they're already having, I don't know how much they need, but I have a couple of ideas that could really, if you win the in-season tournament, it really benefits you. And, it'll give players something to play for because, the Lakers won it. You see where the Lakers are. The Lakers aren't the best team in the NBA, far from it, even when healthy. And you saw the Pacers are. Pacers are 6th in the East, and the Lakers are 10th in the West. I'm like, so you got two mid teams battling for the in-season tournament. Yeah, the Suns were there. Yeah, Milwaukee was close. But, at the same time, I think eventually teams are going to really prioritize, hey, man, I'd rather win the NBA finals and be healthy than come in here and win just the play-in. So, not to play in the in-season tournament. So, here are some guaranteed benefits I think should happen. Now, the first one is a little rogue, so this might not happen. But if it did happen, I couldn't be hating. I would not hate. I think you should be able to take a future the team that wins the in-season tournament should be able to take out one of their future second-round picks and swap it with a pick in any year. So let's say Lakers won. They can take a second round pick in 2030, say we don't want that second round. We'd rather take a pick in this year's lottery. So they'll go, a pseudo pick 16, have a 16 team lottery, and they get like 10 seed odds. You give them like the 10th seeded team's odds, and they're in the lottery, and wherever they fall, they fall. And they'll be able to, maybe they can trade the pick. They can do whatever they want with the pick, but it just gives them, an additional compensation. So for a team, they win the in-season tournament. Hey, especially from a GM standpoint, hey, we can really build a team. If there's a decent draft. I know this draft, and you're like, there's this draft. You're like, I don't know if there's really some good players in here. But in a future draft, you're like, hey, we don't have another pick till 2030, or we don't have another first round pick till 2028. Let's take our 2027 second, swap it with this year, and try to draft a player that could be a decent little role player for us. I think that's a good idea. Another thing, I said cash compensation. It is what it is. This is what I think should really be implemented, and it's easy to implement. I think whatever team wins the in-season tournament, man, they should be able to host a near future All-Star game. Now, I know. The NBA can't change it and say, oh, next year. They can't have it flip on a whim like that. I think they plan it like 2 to 3 years in advance. They need to scrap them extra years in advance. I say 2 years in the future. So the Lakers won this year. 2026 NBA All-Star game should be in LA. And whoever wins next year, 2027 All-Star game should be in that city, man. I think that really gives something to the fans because, the fans, they get to see all the All-Stars come and play, and I think it's even good for the players. Initially I was thinking this idea. Now, this idea I'm about to say is not counting, but I was thinking some NBA players don't even care about the All-Star game. So I'm like, hey, if you win the in-season tournament, maybe if you're a star player, you get an All-Star game pass. You don't even got to play in the game. You can just show up. You can just show up. You don't even got to play in the game. You can still get all the benefits. They got to show up. I was thinking that'd be a pretty decent deal too. But I definitely think whoever wins the in-season tournament, they should be able to host a future NBA All-Star game. Like within 2 years, say, hey, we're gonna host it. We're the host city, and if the same team wins, like let's say the Chicago keeps on winning every year, the All-Star game's in Chicago until somebody else beats them out of it. I think that's a decent idea. Now, if y'all don't know, I'm a LeBron fan. So I wish the in-season tournament would be able to benefit LeBron. I don't really care about the Lakers. I care more about LeBron. You see, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give it a sack with y'all, boy, man. I already know. My nightmare scenario, I already told YNBAB Tab, YNBAB Black, man. I already told him, boy, man. I said, my nightmare scenario is the Lakers beat Warriors in the 9-10 game, and then they lose to the Kings right before they get into the play. That's my nightmare. That's my nightmare scenario. Right now, I'm recording this on April 12th. Lakers play the Grizzlies tonight. I think the Lakers should win, but you never know with them Laker boys, boy. And you never know with them Grizzlies. They might come out here and try to hoop with a passion, man. It might be a disaster. But I think in the play-in, if you win the in-season tournament, I think the 7-seed team should be able to have their playoff spot guaranteed. Not even need to play a game. They don't even need to play a game. So let me go back to these in-season tournament benefits. If your team is 1 through 6, you can get you're getting your cash compensation. You're getting the ability to swap out a future second for a lottery first, and your city is hosting an all-star game. That's all I can give you if you're 1 through 6. And I'm going to give you some more benefits down here. But if you're the 7 seed and you win the play-in tournament, what do you get? You're guaranteed in the playoffs. Because it used to be 1 through 8 is in the playoffs. If you're a 7 seed, hey, you're top 8. You won the in-season tournament, hey, you made it. If you're the 8 seed, hey, you get a choice. Here's the choice. If you choose to play the 7 seed to try to get the 7 seed in the playoff, you get home court in that game. I don't know why this wasn't written in. Hopefully it's written in the future. If you win the in-season tournament and you're the 8 seed, your game against the 7 seed team, I don't care about the game difference. I don't care how many more games they won you. I don't care about the head-to-head. You should get home court advantage that game because, hey, you won the in-season tournament. NBA, hey, we want to incentivize it, make it worthwhile to win every year because there's no guarantee. First off, we don't know if people really care about the in-season tournament, and we don't know if people will keep on caring about it. Like the young players do, kind of, because, more money never hurt. But, hey, let's give, teams really something to shoot for. Because if you're like a team, it's just, okay, we got to be top 8 to make the playoffs. So I say if you're the 8 seed, you either get home court game against the 7 seed for the 7 seed spot, or you can just say, fuck it, I'm going to take the 8 seed, and you don't got to play a game. And then the 7 seed team, they'll just play the winner of 9 and 10, and whoever wins gets the 7 seed. That's what I think. And I think if you're the 9 seed, hey, you get home court advantage in the second game if you win. So you'll get 2 home court advantage games. And if you're the 10 seed, you get a home court advantage in the first game. That's how I think a play-in team could benefit from the in-season tournament. And these are simple things you could put in there. So it's like, hey, you look at it, hey, if I win the in-season tournament, I don't know why I keep mixing them up. Y'all got to bear with me, man. If I win the in-season tournament, I'm the 7th seed. Hey, I'm guaranteed I made the playoffs. All I got to do is I got to fight for at least a 7 or 8 if you win the in-season tournament. And if you're an in-season tournament and you have a rogue year, you fought a 9 or 10, hey, you're the 9 seed, you know that you get 2 home court advantage playing games. And if you're the 10 seed, hey, my first game is home court advantage. So that's what I think. And I think if you win the play-in tournament, the in-season tournament, and you're 11 through 15, you're out the play-in. This is just my idea, and it's a little rogue. Or 11 through 16. Couldn't tell you, hey, I'm not a real NBA fan, man. 2, 4, there's 15. I'm not a real NBA fan, but if you're 11 through 15, and you win the in-season tournament, I think, now this is rogue. Y'all gonna hate me. But the NBA would love it. And I'm going to explain a little bit about that too. I think if you're 11 through 15 and you win the in-season tournament, you should get the opportunity to play the 10 seed for a play-in. You get to play in against the 10 seed. I don't know if you're home or away. We'll leave that up to the NBA. My opinion, you should be away. You get a play-in game against the 10 seed. And then, so if San Antonio won it or wins it next year and they're 13th, they get to play in against the 10 seed. And then if they beat the 10 seed, then they got to play the 9 seed. And then it's regular playing. So they got to win 3 play-in games to make the playoffs. If you win the in-season tournament and you're 11 through 15, I think that's a decent deal. So just for me to go through it quickly. 7 seed, you can guarantee your spot. 8 seed, you can get home court against 7 seed or just guarantee your spot. 9 seed gets home court in your second game. You get home court basically the whole play-in. And 10 seed, you get home court in your first game. And 11 through 15, you get a play-in against the 10 seed if you win the in-season tournament. And here's some playoff benefits. Now, these are all rogue, bro. These are all rogue. These are things I don't think can be implemented. I think the play-in team benefits, what I think could be implemented from my current list right now, is the play-in team benefits I just went through. Maybe not 11 through 15, but definitely 7, 8, 9, and 10. Maybe an all-star game. This is unlikely, but these are real rogue. So if I was commissioner of the NBA and I was in charge of the in-season tournament, man, if a team wins the in-season tournament and they're within 1.5 games of the team above them, so like Oklahoma City right now, they're one game behind Minnesota if the season ended right now, and they won the in-season tournament, I would let them decide. They would be able to choose while the play-in is going on if they want to move up and play be as a 2 seed or stay where they are. I think if you're within 1.5 games of the team that's right above you, you should be able to move up. So that can be another thing where, you get to pick your matchup a little bit if you win the in-season tournament. So if you're Orlando right now, you're the 5th seed. Hey, I'm the 5th seed. I'm going to play Cleveland anyway. Might as well just take home court. I'm a game behind them. I won the in-season tournament. I might as well take home court. Or maybe you're Cleveland. You've been struggling against Orlando this year. You're 1 game behind New York. Hey, let me just jump New York and play the Pacers instead of playing the Magic. I think a team that wins the in-season tournament should be able to do things like that. Now, this is where I get a little rogue. I think only the team that wins the in-season tournament, so it doesn't become the wild, wild west. I think if you win the in-season tournament, you should be able to move down as many seeds as you want in the first to get the matchup you want in the first round or get the seedings you want. So let's say you're the Clippers and you won the in-season tournament. Right now it's going to be Clippers-Dallas. I'm saying if I'm the Clippers, hey, I don't want to see Luka and Kyrie. They balling right now. Let's move down from 4 to 6. Let's take our chances with OKC, and then let's take the chances with the winner of Minnesota and Phoenix. Let's take our chances with locking up Shea, and let's take our chances with the winner of Ant Edwards and them boys and them Phoenix boys. I think if you win the in-season tournament, you should be able to move down as many spots as you want, 1 through 8, to get whatever matchup you think would benefit you the most. And I feel like that would just incentivize you winning the in-season tournament just a little bit more. Now, we're already at 13 minutes. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you if you stayed this long, man. I hope y'all put it at 2 times speed or something. The last thing I think could be implemented, this is a little rogue, as I said. If you win the in-season tournament, you should get, no matter what seed you are, let me let y'all take a guess. What do y'all think it be? What's one thing that's very rogue you should get, man? Alright, y'all out of time. Guaranteed home court in the NBA Finals, man. I think you should get guaranteed home court in NBA Finals. It doesn't matter your seed. So, like, let's say, hey, we're the 8 seed Kings. We fought through, or we're the 5 seed Dallas Mavericks. We want to play the in-season tournament. We got out the West. We got to play the 1 seed Celtics. 1 seed Celtics think they're getting home court. Nah, man. Y'all might win the in-season tournament. We did. We're the Cup champions. We get home court in the finals because I think in the conference picture, it makes sense. The conference are ranked 1 through 8 or whatever, and that's how you determine the standings and the seedings. But once we start talking about, we've always had the discussion. The East is weaker than the West. The Celtics have played less comp than the Mavericks. If we get to the NBA Finals, I'm the Mavericks. I've played more comp. I'm 5 out West. You're 1 out East. That don't matter in the Finals. It's not 1 versus 5. It's best team in the East, best team in the West. I think I won the in-season tournament. I should get home court, man. I think that's the last thing they should add. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all boys be breezy. Godspeed, ski.